All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Around the Bases here on presented by GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Gonna talk some baseball. Got a lot of stuff going on from little league to major league. Yankees are still struggling. The Mets lost to the Braves again. Uh, with Degrom on the mound. Degrom on the mound. So Braves are making a push here since the All Star break. Going to be an interesting second half of the season. They're joined today by Jay McLovin. How you doing today, Jay?
Man, I'm doing good. Yeah, well, a lot of crazy things are going on in the world of baseball. I know we're gonna really kind of break it down with, the Braves, kind of making that late season surge. The Mets and Dodgers looking like they're going from immortal to mortal, and the Red Hot Astros are just creeping up on the damn Dodgers. So lots and lots of things are going on in the world of sports, man. What a time to be alive, man. I tell you, these last, I said it earlier, these last 39 to 40 games before we get into October, it's going to get really juicy and really dicey as to, where we end up going into the postseason in terms of who's on top of the league and, who's at the bottom and who's in the middle. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and the way the Braves are playing, the Mets and the Braves could be battling out for that division for the rest of the season. Because I mean, last night or this series here definitely helped the Braves winning 3 out of the 4 games.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the difference between the Dodgers and the Braves is 9.5 games, but the distance between Atlanta being a wild card and Atlanta being, top of their division is only 3.5. So they've really closed and narrowed up that gap. The Braves right now are, like I said, they're right at red hot. I mean, they're 9-1 over their last 10. And again, they beat DeGrom and they beat Scherzer. So I don't know how much more,
Well, they didn't beat Scherzer this series. They almost
they
did.
beat Scherzer. I thought they beat Scherzer. They didn't beat Scherzer?
No, they scored. Ended up getting 4 runs off of them, but that was the only game the Mets did end up winning. That game held on one
Okay.
like 1 run.
Well, either way, I mean,
They could have very easily lost. They could have very easily got swept that series.
Oh, easily. But I think the Braves are coming alive. I think, like you said, they're you got Von Grissom, and then you got that other guy, that other new guy. They're just locked up under contract. Harris. They just got Harris under contract, so they got a really good young core that's playing at a really good level. So the Braves, you can't ever count them out. Like I said, 27 outs. I don't count them out until I see that 27th out. And the interesting thing is so now that Houston is going to be playing Braves starting tonight. So it's going to be me and Logan going at it. And I'm curious to see how Houston and the Braves, which is a World Series rematch, comes out of it.
Oh, they start a series against each other tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight, man. So again, I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Like I said, the Astros, I don't know if you guys caught it or saw it or whatever, but the White Sox, they wound up splitting the series with the White Sox, but quite honestly, they really should have swept the White Sox. The bullpen in the 8th inning of the 2 games that they did lose to the Sox really kind of hurt them. The starting pitching was excellent. So, but if you look at that last game, 25 or it was 20-6, and they had 25 hits. Talk about a statement game. And games like that elevate your team to a level that you're ready to take on the Dodgers. You're ready to take on, the Mets. You're ready to take on because your confidence now is riding high. You know what I'm saying? And what a time to be alive, because we're getting ready to get into, September ball, which is not that far from October. So as long as they keep this momentum going, I mean, this is going to pay dividends when we do get into, the playoff run.
Yeah, the Astros was on fire yesterday. 21 runs. You see where the Cardinals yesterday, Wainwright and Pujols made history being 2 players over 40 for
Right.
Pujols hitting that grand slam, and then Wainwright pitching 7+ innings
Right.
in the same game. I think that they said it's the first time it's happened since like 1992.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you can't count out these Cardinals, man. they're a scrappy team right now, and they don't have there's not a whole lot of quit in this team. When I look at, when you look at the wild card, I think St. Louis is. I don't see them on here. Are they even a wild card? They might be on top of their damn division.
They're leading their division over Milwaukee.
That's right, man. I forgot, man. I was thinking the Brewers were still in first place. I forgot St. Louis overtook that. So yeah, you can't really look past St. Louis, man. St. Louis, Philadelphia, Atlanta, all those teams, they're much in it. Padres. I don't know what's going on with the Padres, man. There's just no faith in that damn team. I don't care how many, guys that went out and grabbed. It's just not paying dividends for them, and obviously not having Tatis now at this point. Really is hurting them. But so I don't really even look at the Padres as being a potential candidate at this point. But I see St. Louis, Atlanta giving the Dodgers and the Mets a run for their money. What a time to be alive, right?
You forgot a team. The Cincinnati Reds is the team that's going to the National League.
Well, I was thinking about that. But I didn't want to sound overly optimistic or ruin their chances by coming out and saying that. I was tending to believe that superstition rules, and if you don't talk about it, then they'll continue to do what they're doing. So I was just trying to help you out, Gonzo, at that point.
That's why I'm talking about it. Maybe they'll quit doing what they're doing and change something.
Man, that team just really. Cincinnati, like I said, is a lot like the Baltimore Orioles, and they're and things of that nature, where they just lack that sense of direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is they've played competitive ball since the first month, but then at the trade deadline we decided to get rid of even more people, and at a certain point, the more and more you get rid of, it's just you're done. And we're going to see what a lot of our young pitchers have. We have some good young pitchers. That's a good thing. It seems like every time they start developing and getting to that point where we can start winning games, we decide it's time to ship them away.
Yeah, and again, at some point you have to stop shipping away and you have to start developing. And I really think, I don't know what the Reds farm system looks like because I haven't kept up with their farm, but I'm a big believer in developing your farm. And growing your team within, you know what I'm saying? And
well,
if you can
they have a good farm system. They build from within, but the problem is the players start to develop, and then they ship them away before they got to pay them and start all over. They don't ever.
Yeah, and at some point you have to stop doing that.
Yeah, they don't let the development carry out. Is the problem? The players will start to get developed, and then we get rid of them instead of keeping them.
Right. And it's okay to, if you got somebody coming in, like, okay, I'll give you an example. If you got take the Astros, take Correa, for example, right? Correa is a phenomenal player. And you have Pena in the minors who's ready to come up. I can get moving a player in that scenario because, when they brought Pena up, they really did save a lot of money to give it to their pitching and other positional needs. And Pena came in and filled in right away. But I don't think you get rid of all your players or all the time. You have to take it situational by situational. But, again, to your point, if that's your routine is to always get rid of your guys, well, then now you got issues.
Yeah, because then every 2-3 years, you're basically on a rebuild.
Yeah, and at some point, you got to say, I'm tired of rebuilding, and I've got to have a sense of direction. And I think, within an organization, you got to find out, okay, who are my core players? Who am I going to put my money into? Excuse me. And you go that direction. And then everybody else around, maybe you interchange, but you got to figure out who your core is that you're going to try to develop with. For example, look at Atlanta. Atlanta has their young core right now that they've really been building and working on. Astros have had a core forever. Dodgers have their core. You have to figure out who your core is, and then, okay, this is the team we're going to build on. Let's go from here. And I think it starts with your pitching rotation, figure out who your pitchers are going to be, and then maybe like who your sluggers are going to be, and then you kind of just develop around that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that's what you got to do. You got to build around the pieces that you have. What do you think's going on? What's going on with the Yankees? Is it just their I think the main thing is they're struggling to hit the ball. I know their pitching's been a little off, but their hitting's been way down.
Well, again, they were what? Not they lost to Toronto last night, 9-2. So it goes back to what I was telling you. When your ERA is above 4, and your on base percentage is at 300, and your batting average is around 230. It's a little hard to win games if you can't get guys on base for one, and you're giving up, everything under the sun, to them offensively. So I think last night, Herman, if I say his name right, German, whatever, he pitched last night, and I'm not a big fan of him at all. I know he's coming off injury, so I don't know how much we can.
He pitched last night? I thought Montas was going to pitch last
night.
night.
Unless I'm wrong, and I'm sure if I am, Frankie will correct the crap out of me, but I'm almost positive it was German last night that pitched. I'm about 90% positive.
Jay German was the game before. Last night was Frankie Montas.
Was it Montas? Damn. So okay, damn.
But and going into last night's game, the Yankees were 3-7 over their last 10, only hitting 214 as a team over their last 10 games, with an ERA of 3.96. And they'd been outscored by 8 runs over that period. And then last night they gave up all those runs last night. So they're only hitting 214 now for a team that at the beginning or the first half of the season was hitting close to 260, 270 as a team.
And again, the problem with that is when they started out this season, they were a different team than what they are now. I mean, they brought in Benintendi, they brought in Bader, which I think Bader's on the injured reserve list. I know they lost Stanton to the IL for a while, but the Yankees, they really try to build more through free agency, and I think they were panicking a little bit and thinking they needed to bring in people when I don't think they needed to bring in anybody other than maybe work on the starting rotation a little bit because of injuries. But I don't think you get rid of it. I mean, Gallo, I get Gallo because he just never was a good fit, for the Yankees organization. And I think you see that because, when he went to LA, now he's doing quite well in LA. I think that's just a more natural fit for Gallo. But the Yankees really, they had the winning recipe at the beginning of the season. And then right just before All-Star break, they kind of ran into some issues. And then they tried to change up, some rotational guys or positional player guys. And I don't think they needed to do that. I think they just needed to ride the storm out and get back on track. And again, I think it goes back to Aaron Boone not getting control of his team, not changing the mental state of his team. You can put in 1 million players, but, at the same time, your coach has to be able to get that team, producing and figure out what they need to do. But they just changed up that team so much. And I don't know why you're changing up a team that clearly set the standard for coming out hot. I mean, yeah, they cooled off, but that's when you just go back to the drawing board in terms of having meetings and having discussions and figuring out, okay, this is where we were. Now we're here. What changed and how do we right the ship rather than just shipping players off and trying to bring other guys in thinking that that's going to automatically solve your problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was Frankie Montas. Frankie the Yankee. He was 4-10. Go figure. Go figure.
No, I think one thing teams do, and they do it not on purpose, inadvertently, but they try to add pieces, thinking it's going to help them. It's going to help them. Well, sometimes you can add pieces, and it messes up the chemistry of the team. And then, then your team has to work to get that back. And so that could be what is going on with the Yankees. Some is adding them guys at the trade deadline. And then you, excuse me, add guys at the trade deadline. Maybe it changes the chemistry of that team just a little bit in the clubhouse. And that can go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at Montas. He went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Man, that's a terrible line. But again, I look at guys like Rizzo, who's 222, Donaldson, who's 223. I will say this: that guy Cabrera that they brought up from the minors, he went 2 for 4, and he's got a 250 batting average. I mean, he seems like he's fitting in quite well with the Yankees. But yeah, man, Judge went 0 for 4. Torres 0 for 4, Benintendi 0 for 4. I mean, these are some of your stud guys, and they're just not getting on base. So yeah, man. I mean, when your pitch is not giving you what you need, and your star guys aren't giving you what you need, I mean, it's just a recipe for losing, and that's why the Yankees are 3-7. Not that they can't right that ship, but man, it's going to take a hell of a lot, and Boone is really going to have to get into these guys and figure out what's going on. But I look at and then of course you look at the Yankees rotation, and you have Cole, who's your ace, and then you have Cortez, and I think the Cortez is more of a bright spot on that team at this point than what Garrett Cole is. Not that Cole is he's a great pitcher, but I think Cortez is actually right now outperforming him.
No, yeah, I agree. I was muted. I didn't realize I was muted. Frankie says Jameson Taillon will help us tonight.
Man, I don't know. I gotta be Frankie. I don't know why Frankie believes in Taillon so much. Every time I watch Taillon pitch, man, he's either losing or what. I don't know, and I don't know and I gotta go back and look at his record. But in my opinion, Taillon and what's in German or German or Herman or whatever his name is, those two guys, in my opinion, are just the weekend of your rotation. Not that I think that Frankie Montas is that much better. I'm not a big believer in the starting pitching for the Yankees. I actually like Montgomery better than I do Montas, to be honest with you. I think they should have kept Montgomery and not brought in Bader. I think you'd have been fine with having Montgomery there. I don't think you needed to get rid of him, to be honest with you.
What about the Blue Jays? Do you think Toronto is going to be able to put together a run to cause any noise in the playoffs this year?
Absolutely, I do, man. I think Toronto is doing quite well, actually.
Yeah, they've been starting to get hot. Been playing a lot better since the All-Star break for sure.
Again, I think Toronto, Tampa, clearly Seattle has put themselves in a position to be taken seriously, right? I think right now they're on top of the wild card spot, so it's going to be interesting to see how the AL wild card pans out. Toronto, I mean, and let's be honest, at the way these Yankees are going, they may lose their damn division. I know we got 39 games left. I was looking at the standings to see how far Toronto and Tampa are back. I mean, if the Yankees can right this ship, they have enough games. There are 9 games. Tampa and Toronto are tied with their records. So they're both sitting right there behind New York. They're both sitting at 9 games back. I think it's possible for them to catch the Yankees, but realistically, if the Yankees can put some stuff together, they can still hold on to that division. But man, yeah, Toronto and Tampa. Toronto is actually 4-6 on their last 10, 6-4 for Tampa, and then of course 3-7 for the Yankees. Golly, man, I don't know that they catch the Yankees, but I will say this: if Toronto or Tampa plays New York, in the playoffs. Regardless of whatever, the Yankees record is now, I don't think they beat Tampa or Toronto in the playoffs, given the way they're playing.
Yeah, I think Tampa's biggest problem is they go into too many spells where they're not scoring runs. But I do think they could be a dangerous team as well because of their pitching. I mean, they have a 3.78 team ERA over their last 10 games. So they're not pitching bad, but they've been outscored by 3 runs over the last 10 games. Where the Blue Jays have been pounding the ball here lately. It's going to be interesting. You have the Red Sox who are just falling apart. They got killed by the Pirates last night. If you're getting blown out by the Pirates,
bro.
You're in trouble.
I mean, look, at this point, I think we all know that the Red Sox are just done. I mean, I don't want to say rebuild because probably be like, oh my god, but no, but they're not too far off from rebuild either. Let's just be honest.
What about the Padres? What's going on with the Padres? All the talent on that team, you think they would be playing better baseball than they are right now?
I still think it's starting rotation. With the Padres, I think it's starting rotation. I'd have to go back and actually really look at that team a little bit more closely. But I think I'm not a big fan of Yu Darvish. I don't know how you feel. I haven't liked Yu Darvish since he was with the Rangers and so forth. And then I think he was also with correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was with the Dodgers there for a little while. I just never have been a big fan of Yu Darvish. And so for that reason, I'm just not a big fan in San Diego. And I think it just, for me, it's just more of a pitch and rotation thing than it is anything else.
Yeah, Darvish hasn't had a terrible season, but he ain't been great. Yeah, I think it's part of that. I think injuries have hurt him some, especially not having Tatis, and then now you're not getting Tatis for the rest of this year or part of next year. But you brought in Soto, but even since they brought in Soto and Bell, I mean, they're 5-5 over the last 10 games going into last night. I'm pretty sure they beat the Nationals last night. I think.
No, the Padres lost to the Nationals.
They lost to the Nationals last night. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. So they're.
No, I'll take that back. I apologize. No, 3-1. No, yeah, they did. They lost 3-1. 3-1 to Washington. Washington, they rallied against them and actually wound up beating them late in the game.
Okay.
But yeah, they lost 3-1 to Washington last night. But man, but look at their look at the on-base percentage for the Padres. It's right at 320, which is only .020 better than where the Yankees are. So look where the Yankees are at. Again, if you're not getting on base, how are you going to win games?
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, you can't score runs if you don't get on base. But that's the problem. But to me, Jay, that's the problem with baseball now. Is it's all about home runs. They don't care if they strike out anymore. It's all about hitting that. It's all about hitting that long ball, and that hurts your on base percentage. And if you go through a spell where you're not getting those home runs, it hurts. It kills your team because that's how you've always depended on scoring your runs. You don't see teams bunting no more. You don't see the small ball like we were talking about yet on Unscripted last night, going up there looking to make contact. Just put the ball in play. I know it sounds like what you would tell a little league team, just put the ball in play. But guess what? That works in the major leagues too. If you put the ball in play, good things happen. How many times have you seen a throwing error turn an inning around or turn a game around? But none of that stuff can happen if you don't put the ball in play.
Right. And again, that's why I was saying it's interesting because the Padres and the Yankees, both have a lot of similarities, which it shows, in their records and their play on the field. When it comes to Toronto, I think out of Tampa and Toronto, I think Toronto has the best opportunity to give the Yankees fits. Seattle could also give the Yankees fits. Depending on who they play and who we play when we get into the playoffs, and how things change. So I definitely think, and I know, and Frankie is going to say I'm a fanboy, but let me ask you: as long as we're riding this momentum that we're riding, and the chemistry is where the chemistry is, and the depth is where the depth is, that we don't lose guys to injury. I mean, who really in the American League right now do we think can stand up to the Astros? I think the Astros unless something crazy happens, I still think they're bound for another World Series run.
Oh no, I think they have a good chance. I do think. I do still think the Yankees are going to have a say in that some too. I do see it probably coming down between them two in the series. But a lot of it's going to come down to, like you said, with injuries. Can both teams stay healthy? But the way the Astros are playing right now, I mean, yeah, you have to look at them as probably the favorite in the AL. And then in the National League, yeah, you have the Dodgers that have been hot. The Mets were hot, but I'll tell you what, the Braves right now are looking like one of the hottest teams in the league.
Yeah, man, and that's the team that, in my opinion, really kind of worries me because if you look at last year, Dodgers were hot. They were expected to be in the World Series. Braves made a couple of moves at the trade deadline, which brought in Soler and I can't remember the other guy's name. But, if you know about that World Series, Soler was a really big bat on that team that helped them get where they got. And also their pitching staff, at least in the bullpen, was phenomenal. And that's really what killed the Astros was the Astros' lack of bullpen depth at that time and the Nationals' bullpen depth. I mean, the Braves' bullpen depth. So when I look at the Astros and Braves World Series, that game was won and lost by the bullpen. And that's why I don't discount this Braves team because they still have a good bullpen and they're mounting. They got a great offensive game at this point. The only weakness I really kind of see in these guys could be their starting pitching. But again, that was the same damn issue they had when they won the World Series. So I don't know how much to put into that.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 10 games, they're hitting on 276 as a team. They've outscored their opponents by 28 runs in the last 10. I mean, yeah, they have Fried, but when he starts, they're usually tough. Yeah, but you would think by looking at their starting rotation that there may be would be a starter away, but they've been pitching well enough that they're a lot of it's they're hitting the ball so much, then their bullpen's able to hold on. But I'll tell you what, I'm not a Braves fan, but I like what the Braves are building over there with that young core they got, and getting Harris signed that deal like we were talking about last night. That just leaves options even more open for them to be a competitive team for the next 5 to 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, well, I know that their young core is signed through 2025. And I believe Olsen is signed through 2029. So, yeah, they're definitely locked in with this core without a shadow of a doubt. So, and again, you look at the guys like Riley and Dansby Swanson and the other guys that they have around that young core. And I mean, this is just a stupidly good team. And by the way, they got Riley locked up for like 10. So Riley's part of that core as well. Even though he's a little older, but man, he's still producing at a great level.
Yeah, he's having a great season. I still think the Mets are going to be a team that's going to make some noise in the playoffs as well. They were 7-3 going in last night. They did lose last night. They had a rough series against the Braves here, going 1-3. But with the pitchers they have with DeGrom and Scherzer and Bassett, they've been hit. They have a pretty good offense. I think the Mets are going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, the playoffs is a different animal, right? So it's hard to hold all the weight on the regular season because we all know that once you get into the postseason, the mindsets of the players and things like that tend to change.
Yeah, anything can happen.
But I'll tell you this: I don't know, man, about the Mets. I think for me, I think the Dodgers are the more formidable team. I still think the Mets. The Mets have shown that they can be beat. The Astros swept them. The Braves just came off of a what was it, 3 out of 4 with that series. So all I'm saying is that this team can be beat. But again, I think to your point, I think on the National League side of things, it's going to be a dogfight between Atlanta, Mets, and Dodgers. I think those three teams, it's going to be a dogfight. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that completely pans out, right?
Frankie said, "You guys not looking at the Cardinals?" No. The Cardinals are going to have a say in that as well. I still don't know about the Cardinals starting rotation, if it's going to be good enough to compete with the Braves and the maybe the Mets or the Dodgers in a 7-game series. But with that being said, you can't ever count the Cardinals out because they're a scrappy, gritty team, and it seems like they're always like that. And they did pick up. Is that where that's where Montgomery went?
Yeah, and that's where Montgomery is on their starting rotation. And I think Montgomery is pretty good. So
yeah, they did add Montgomery, which helped them because that's what they were needing was another starting pitching to go along with Wainwright and McCullers. So now they got three pretty good, solid starters that they can throw at you in a 5 or 7 game series. So yeah, I agree, Frankie. The Cardinals are going to be a team that people aren't going to want to see in October.
Didn't the Mets just lose? They lost. They lost one of their pitchers, I think, on the IL, didn't they? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, 2 actually.
Roscoe, I think it is.
Carrasco's on the IL, and Walker is on the IL now with the. I don't know if he's on the IL or if they just were sitting him out because of a sore back. So yeah, they got a couple pitchers that are having injury problems right now. Just happened this week.
Right, and that's the thing that I feel like could be the issue with the Mets is when it happens to a lot of people is injuries, and so I'm kind of curious as to see how that pans out for those guys at that level. Is can they stay healthy? Can they keep that rotation healthy? Because I don't think just Scherzer and DeGrom is going to get you there. I think they're going to need that third or fourth guy to step in, and if they're losing them to injury, and I don't know how long either one of those two pitchers are out. I
don't think they're going to be out real long. I don't think they're like real serious injuries. I think they're more of just like a little nagging injury that they're trying to get took care of now, so it's not a bigger problem down the road.
Interesting. What a time to be alive. Freaking Mets, man. Yeah, so right now you got Bassett is at the third spot. You got Carrasco on the 15-day IL, and you got Walker who's day-to-day. So yeah, you got Walker day-to-day, and then you got Carrasco on the 15-day IL, which means they're pretty much running a 3-man rotation right now until Walker comes back. And then they lost somebody else in their I thought they lost somebody else, one of their positional players to injury, but Guillermo, whatever, he's on the 10-day Escobar. I think Escobar may have been the one. I know maybe it's Escobar I was thinking of, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I think and to Frankie's point, I think it's still the Mets, Dodgers, Braves, Cardinals. I'm not ruling out the Cardinals by any means. I think those are your 4 teams in the National League. One of those 4 teams is going to be in the World Series. Which one, is to be determined. But I think those are your 4. I think those are your 4 teams. And I think on the American League side, I still got the Yankees in there. I got the Astros in there. I got Seattle in there. And I think out of Toronto and Tampa, I'm going with Toronto. And I don't want to overlook the Cleveland Guardians either. So maybe I go 5 teams on the AL because I think the Guardians are playing good baseball as well, to the point where even the Astros kind of, struggled with Cleveland. So I don't want to rule Cleveland out of that either, especially since they're on top of their division.
Yeah, Cleveland is a weird team. One game that you watch them and you're like, man, they got a good team here. And then you watch them again and it looks like a totally different team. If they could just get a little more consistent in their play, I agree with you. Cleveland, the White Sox looked like they were starting to turn it around after having a terrible first half of the season.
Right.
Of course, they got slaughtered yesterday, but they've been playing better ball. I still think the Blue Jays is a team you have to watch out for, just because when their bats get hot, they can be a scary team.
Oh no, yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's why I think I'm not going to say Tampa can't get in there, but I just feel like Toronto, like to your point, I think Toronto is still a little bit more tougher team, and that's why I feel like it's New York, Toronto, Houston, Seattle, and then I would throw Cleveland in there as well. I think those are your mainstay teams that's going to give the fight in this postseason, and I think Seattle may go up against. I think Cleveland's going to be playing that wild card. They're going to play one of the wild card teams because I believe Houston and New York should have the bye on that first series, so that would put Cleveland playing one of the wild card teams in that first round. And I really hope that they play Seattle because Seattle can just be that. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe even Toronto because I think Toronto could give. I think even Houston some fits. Houston's done pretty well against Seattle. The last couple of series, we've really been hammering them. But I think Seattle could be the New York Yankees kryptonite. So I think I'd rather see Toronto go out, and hopefully let the Yankees go up against Seattle, and then hey, that'd be great if Seattle could take New York out, and then it'd be Houston, Seattle, and the ALCS, and then of course I feel like Houston's going to go to the World Series. But quite honestly, I think even against New York, Houston goes to the World Series at this point.
Yeah, Houston's playing better baseball right now. That's for sure.
The more question for me is at what point do the Steinbrenners or Cashman say, hey, Boone, hey, man, I don't think this is working out. I think we need to go a different direction. At what point do they start looking at Boone and say, hey, we've brought in all these other players. Maybe it's time to bring in a new manager. I mean, when is his job going to be on the line?
I think he could. Excuse me. I think he could be on the hot seat today, or today. This year, I was reading about this on TV. This year, if they don't finish. If they don't make a playoff run and they have an early exit in the playoffs, I think he could be in trouble going into the next season. I mean, they have a team where I think the owner and everybody expects them to. At least, I mean, everybody they expect to be in the World Series or at least in the American League Championship Series game. And if they especially if they exit like first round of the playoffs,
right?
I could see Boone's seat getting real hot if they go out for early exit in the playoffs.
hey, Gonzo, send Frankie the link, man. I think Frankie's tired of hearing us talk about the Yankees.
Oh, okay. Now I see his message now.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead and send it the link, man. I'll bring it. But yeah, man.
My son was messaging me. I was talking to him. I didn't even realize Frankie had messaged.
Yeah, he sent me a voice message telling me how to say. I think it's probably German's name or talent. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm sure he's going to give me a few. AJ, man, I'm tired of you mispronouncing our damn team's name, man. Come on, get it right. I don't speak Spanish, man. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say all those damn names.
There you go, Frankie. I'll send it to you.
Frankie just wants, yeah. And another thing, I really kind of curious to see what goes on with Ohtani. I think that's I still don't think the Angels are going to be able to keep Ohtani with the amount of money he's going to require. I'm more interested to see where that leads to.
Well, I think they might end up moving on from Trout and keeping Ohtani.
You think so? You think they would do that? You think they're going to do that?
I think they might try to do that because of that back issue that's going on with Trout, which Trout's from what I hear, he's going to play today.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's due to be back in the rotation, so I know he's back. But yeah, I can understand what you're saying. You
got to remember when that report came out about his back. Look how bad that trainer from the Angels made it sound. The Angels trainer made it sound like it was like career ending. Hell, Trout had to come out and say, like, dude, I'm okay. I'm not. It ain't like my career's over. So if the Angels really believe that his back is going to cause that much problems, I can see them instead of investing them, paying him, maybe move him on and try to and pay Otani and try to build around him.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? And again, the one thing I'm nervous when it comes to Otani is, I know earlier when he was playing with the Angels, he was having some injury issues. Remember, he was on the IL quite a bit, and now it seems like he's okay. Like he's not on the IL, as much anymore. But my question is when you're a two-way player, and you're hitting and you're pitching, and you're not really getting a lot of rest in between. At what point does the wear and tear start to build up on Otani, and we start to see him, having injuries?
Yeah, I think the only thing that does help him is a lot of times he just DHs. When he's not pitching, so so he's just hitting. But yeah,
Right.
It's different. We don't know. We haven't seen a pitcher since Babe Ruth that has been like Otani that does both so often. So
Right.
it is going to be interesting to see how many years can he do this at a high level before you start seeing either the pitching or the hitting, one of them start going downhill.
Take a dip. Yeah.
Or like you said, injuries start piling up on him because you're using him more than what you use a normal pitcher.
Absolutely. And then again too, you're putting when you put him as a hitter, he's at risk of getting hit by the ball. And so I mean, at what point do you say is the risk that good that you're going to lose a really good quality pitcher because I don't know, man. I mean, he just takes up. I mean, when you're going both ways like that, there's a lot of risk that's involved with that.
What's going on, Frankie?
What's up, guys? Let me start off by sparking this cigarette because this shit's about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy, boys.
I knew you would be in it at some point. I was like, man, he gonna be in at some point.
Yeah, but I'm not. But Jay, I'm not coming in to do my normal. You guys talking about the Yankees. I come in and defend them. No, I'm not gonna do that. You wanna know why? Because I follow 100% of everything you guys are saying right now. 100% on everything you guys are saying. Aaron Boone, if you make the playoffs with the Yankees and you end up being a first round exit or a divisional round exit in the ALDS, if that's a big if we win the division, because like you said, Jay, we're into single digits now with the division lead with 9 games over Tampa and 9 games over Toronto. Still got 3 games against Toronto, followed by a 2-game series with the Mets. Not looking really good for the Yankees part right now. The way we continue to play, and it's just not a happy time for me right now. To be a Yankee fan, it really sucks. And Jay, you're a true brother, man. You're a true brother because Jay is one of those people that any sport, baseball, football, basketball, it don't matter. Me and Jay talk privately. I'm not going to talk about what we talk about, but me and Jay, we talk privately, man. Because for football seasons, Jay deals with the Cowboys, so for him to come back to me on baseball seasons is kind of like, and he said this to me before. He said, I know what you're dealing with, bro. It's kind of like what I deal with the Cowboys. So like,
Yeah.
Jay, you're a true brother because you literally you're an Astros fan, but you know where I'm at my rock bottom with my team, like And I told you multiple times the past like week, I'm done. I gave up. I'm done with these guys. Like they do this shit every year. I'm done with it.
Hey, Frankie, it could be worse. You could be a Cincinnati Reds fan.
Chris, I would rather be a Cincinnati Reds fan right now. Honestly, I would rather be a Cincinnati Red fan because you guys have been on this this little rocky shit for quite a while now. Compared to the Yankees, where we're a big name franchise in baseball, 27-time world champions, like and to start off the season 62 and I think it was 62 and 20 something, and now you're like in the 20 like above 20 something 20 plus games or 25 plus games 500 and stuff. You led the division series by almost 20 games and now you brought it down into single digits of 9. I would honestly rather be a Reds fan right now than be a Yankee fan because I feel more embarrassed being a Yankees fan from what they're doing.
Frankie, a couple of things. Number one, the Yankees, when they back in the day when they had Teixeira and Giambi and Jeter and A-Rod and the list goes on of players, and their course of rotation was Pettit. I mean, Mariano, and then you had Clemens and so forth. I mean, the Yankees have not had those caliber type of players in a long time. Now, I'm not saying that Judge isn't a good player, things like that, or LeMahieu or what have you, but they just have not been able to recreate that type of magic. And of course, when you have a manager like Joe Torre, I mean, just incredible. And how much?
I think a lot of it, what they're missing is the leadership. They ain't had that leader like they did with.
Right, they haven't had that captain, that Derek Jeter type guy. But again, when I look at this team, I feel like to Frankie's point, they came out shit red hot. Look, you're like the number one Uno team. Like, you can't be beat, this, that, and the other. And then right when they got a week before the All-Star break, that's when the wheels started to come off a little bit. And I feel like, Boone, I think the Yankees, I feel like they overreacted to the point where they felt like they had to get rid of Montgomery. They had to, bring in Benintendi and so forth. And I just felt like they overreacted to it. They panicked too soon rather than just try to right this ship and just stay with what got you where you were. I don't think that they needed to change.
I mean, the Jordan Montgomery literally confused the hell out of me, and I even said this to you guys like many times right after it, because literally we traded Jordan Montgomery literally 1 minute before the trade deadline had ended. So like right at the very end, we went and traded Jordan Montgomery, and it was for a center fielder who technically is on the IL, which is mind blowing to me. Why would you trade a starting pitcher for someone who's a center fielder that's on the IL? We have a center fielders. I mean, I understand you want the hits and stuff, but we were getting the hits before you decided to go and get this center fielder who's on the IL. I mean, it was mind blowing to me that we traded away Jordan Montgomery. I really like Jordan Montgomery, and what he's doing in St. Louis is what he could have been doing in New York. He wasn't that bad in New York this year. He really wasn't. He had a couple slump games, but what pitcher doesn't? I mean, this guy really he was really pitching really great for us in the beginning of the year, and but to your point with Andrew Benintendi, I'm actually still kind of glad we got Andrew Benintendi, because grabbing Andrew Benintendi, Jay, fits us to getting rid of Joey Gallo. And yes, Joey Gallo wasn't he wasn't that person that New York thought he was gonna be, compared to him going to the Dodgers and being that person with the Dodgers. But let's not forget something. I say this to both Jay. I said it to Jay, and I said it to Jonathan Mathis, because he's also a Dodgers fan. No, I'm not saying Jay's a Dodgers fan, but I'm saying he's a Dodgers fan is what I'm trying to say. And I said this, that last year when we traded to get Joey Gallo, he did the same exact thing that he's doing for the Dodgers. He got traded to the Dodgers, and he's playing phenomenal.
Off to a hot start.
Yeah, off to a hard start. Wait until the full season starts next year. We'll come back to Jonathan Mathis, and I put money on it, Jay, Chris. I put money on it. Jonathan Mathis will be quickly to say we need to trade away Joey Gallo.
We need to get rid of Gallo now.
He will quickly say that. And I'm glad that we got rid of Joey Gallo, because let me tell you something, Jay. Andrew Benintendi has a more better chance of getting on base than Joey Gallo did. Andrew Benintendi.
Oh, I don't have any problem. I don't have any problems with you guys bringing in Benintendi and letting go of Gallo. That because we all knew that Gallo just wasn't a right fit for the Yankees. He just wasn't. So I don't have a problem with the Benintendi for Gallo. To me, that makes sense. What I have a problem with is when they let go of Montgomery and they brought in Bader for that. To me, that just made zero sense at all.
It made zero sense for everyone. Literally, I tell you right now, and I can honestly speak for all New York Yankee fan bases and say we are confused on what Brian Cashman did with Jordan Montgomery. Because if you would have kept Jordan Montgomery, now just think about it. You keep Jordan Montgomery. Don't make a trade for Frankie Montas, right? Because Frankie Montas isn't that guy. If you wanted to go for the guy from the Reds, Luis Costello or whatever, you didn't get him. Too bad. Stay with Jordan Montgomery, right? Try and go for Lewis next year or something. I don't know, but I would have kept Jordan Montgomery. right? I would have dealt with Domingo Herman. Domingo Herman, Jay. Domingo Herman. Not German, not German, Herman. The G
That's what I
silent.
said, Herman.
The G silent. You said his name 3 different ways.
I think what I said was, I don't know. His name is either Herman, German,
German.
German.
Yeah,
But
he pitched he pitched not yesterday, but the day before.
yeah, he pitched the day before. He pitched good. And what's wrong with Domingo Herman is he could start off really good. He has the ball control on making good strikes, but it's just that it'll be like that one moment where he'll give up a home run to where he must have mistakenly like threw the ball into the strike zone where the batter wanted it to be, and he didn't mean it for it to go there. It didn't curve to where it needed to go. I don't know, but Domingo Herman actually plays better than Frankie Montas, and I would have had the starting rotation right now with Luis Severino on the IL. I would have had Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Jordan Montgomery, Jameson Tyone, and Domingo Herman. When Luis Severino comes back, take out Domingo Herman and bring back that starting rotation. That was the starting rotation that was winning us games, and I don't understand why the hell we went and switched it up, bringing Frankie Montas, who had a losing record with the Oakland A's. Why would you get a pitcher from the Oakland A's? The Oakland A's has one of the worst records in baseball. If they have one of the worst records in baseball, what does that tell you? Clearly, their pitchings aren't great, their hittings aren't great. So why the hell would you go and get a pitcher from Oakland?
Hey,
It makes
Frankie,
no sense.
has Herman been hurt this season? Is that why he hasn't started many games?
Yeah, Domingo Herman got injured. I think 2 years ago. He didn't play at all last year, and he was out. He was out basically halfway through the year. He didn't come back until I think. Actually, he didn't come back until the doubleheader against the Astros. Because I told
So
Jay
right
that
after the
Domingo
All-Star
Herman.
break?
Yeah, he came back right after the All-Star break during the doubleheader, and
Yeah.
he didn't have a good game against the Houston Astros. I think he only lasted like 3 innings that day. And yeah,
Yeah, because I knew he's only had like 4 starts, so I thought maybe he'd been injured.
But again, like I was telling Frankie, the biggest thing for you guys, I mean, you got it both ways, right? You got obviously your hitting is not producing as much, but your pitching, especially with the bullpen, and Holmes, like I was saying, in his first 38 appearances, he only gave up 2 runs. The last like 9 appearances, he's given up 10. So Holmes is clearly an issue. I think Chapman. I don't know if I 100% believe in Aroldis Chapman. So I think there's definitely a lot of issues there, not only with your bullpen, but with that starting rotation, I think still has some issues. And it's not, I mean, usually you can win if the offense is there and the defense isn't, or vice versa. If the defense is there, but but you guys are, you're right now you're suffering on both ends of the stick. And that's why that's why your record right now over the last 10 games was 3-7. And at what point do you start looking at, like I was telling Chris, at what point do you start looking at Boone and being like, hey, look, we let go of Girardi, we brought in Boone, we haven't been the rules since 2009. At what point are you saying, okay, clearly our skipper, wasn't right or hasn't been right for quite some time now?
Well, I what I can say is I like Aaron Boone. He's a winning record coach. Yes, I mean we're a city of New York. It's kind of like being. It's kind
I
of like
like
me being
Boone.
It's kind of like me being a Laker fan, right? You're a big name franchise, and you expect it to be in the playoff. You're expected to fight for a championship. You're expected to be in the World Series. Um, but Aaron Boone hasn't gotten to that level. He hasn't even touched the field of a World Series logo on it. As far as he's made it was the ALCS. He could have no lie, he could have made the World Series back in 2017, but we're not going to go down that road. That's long overdue. But we're not going to go down that road. It's past and it's history. We're into the here and now. We're into the 2020 decades. 2017 is like a puff cloud of smoke, and we don't pay attention to that anymore. But Aaron Boone is actually a good coach. I mean, he 400 wins as a manager, 401 now, I think. No, 400 wins, yes. 400 wins as a manager. I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs yet. I think ever since he came in, we've been to the playoffs every year. I mean, we've been either early exits or close to the World Series, but we ended up losing and going out in the ALCS. But to answer your question, Jay, and I'm going to agree with what Chris said earlier, this is the year. If Aaron Boone ends up taking the Yankees to the playoffs again and getting eliminated and not making it to the World Series, if he makes it to the World Series, I could see him coming back. But if you do not make it to the World Series and you get eliminated early, Aaron Boone should be fired.
What if they make it to the ALCS and lose?
He's still going to be fired.
Think so?
Because we've been to that level, Chris. We've been to the
That's true.
ALCS already. We know what that ALCS tastes like, and we can compete in the ALCS. Like I said, 2017, we could have been there, but we're not going to talk about that.
But here's the deal, though, and we won't go into 2017.
Like
but you know what? But Cashman has given Crane. If you don't know who Jim Crane is, that's the owner of the Astros. He's given a lot of issues to Crane about 2017, you guys robbed us, but you know what? We kicked your ass in 2015. We kicked your ass in 2019. Why didn't you get it those years?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I'm just saying, like, I get it, but 2017, I understand your bitch and complain about that, but Cashman needs to look at himself in the mirror and be like, hey, you can take 2017 for what it is, but what about all these other ALCSs that, we didn't get it? So at what point do the Yankees start looking at the Yankees and saying, okay, and I don't, but at what point do you even look at Cashman and say, maybe it's time to, get a new GM in? Maybe Cashman,
It's time. And I won't, you know what? The day we see Aaron Boone go will be the same day we see Brian Cashman go. And we talked about this the other night, Jay. The Yankees owners, they're not like their father. They're not like George, right? Like, he was hands-on with the Yankees all the time. He was with the GMs in the office, saying, look, what we got to do to make Derek Jeter happy. Who do we got to bring in? What do we got to, who's pitching, what pitchers that are good that we need to bring in. That's the type of owners we need. Someone that's in there seeing what's wrong, seeing what's right, and making a change. Don't leave everything under Brian Cashman, because once Brian Cashman became our GM, we literally only have one World Series title. And just one.
I like Aaron Boone. I like the Boone family. They're big with the Cincinnati Reds. But if George Steinbrenner was still there, Boone would already have been gone.
Yeah, if George was there, Boone would have been gone. Boone would have been gone by 2019.
Yeah. And again, I just feel like the Yankees sometimes, they're so eager to get back to the postseason that I think sometimes they overreact, to bring in other people. And I don't think that always works out for them. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you get hit in the head, what I'm saying is sometimes when you get hit in the head with adversity, you got to plug through that crap and work your way through it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Frankie, what worries you the most about the Yankees for this season? Is it the fact that they're not hitting the ball right now, or is it more the bullpen?
The bullpen.
Because hitting, every team goes in a little bit of a slump hitting, and it usually picks back up. But yeah, the bullpen. Bullpens, I think I agree with you.
Yeah, I think to me it's the bullpen, because the other night, I was truly upset. We had a 4-4 game. We were down 4-0. We ended up crawling back and tying the game 4-4, and then Aroldis Chapman comes in and he gives up a 3-run double. 3-run double with 2 outs, and he led the pitch count 0-2, guys. Let that sink in for just 2 seconds. All right? Any baseball fan of any team will be excuse me, I don't know if I can curse here now. I want to be professional.
Oh, you can curse if you want.
Okay. Any team and any baseball fan and any team will be fucking pissed the fuck off if you were up 0-2
and you groove them
and you give up a 3-run double. A 3-run double.
Yeah, that 0-2 pitch should be in the dirt, or should be out of the zone trying to give him the chase. You shouldn't be grooving him something where you can get a double off of.
And it's just not just a 3-run double in any inning, guys. It's just extra innings on the top of the 10th. So if we didn't get a freaking hit in the bottom of the 9th, we would have lost it again. No lie.
Yeah, you got a walk-off grand slam.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Hey, let me
why,
ask you a question real quick, if I
that's why
may.
it's not.
Hey, hold on.
Jay,
So you guys were like really hard on Gallo, and for right. No, I get it with the whole Gallo thing. Trust me, I understand. But why are we not giving Anthony Rizzo that same sort of, or even Donald, for that matter, when they're both hitting in the 220s?
Because Anthony Rizzo and Josh Donaldson, honestly, they can go 0-4 and stuff like that. But look what Josh Donaldson did. He went 0-4 2 nights ago and hit that walk-off grand slam.
No, I get it. Hey, and every once in a blue moon, but Frankie, every once in a blue moon is still not great. I mean, you got lucky and you got the grand slam. I get that. But overall, the consistency that it's going to take to win a World Series, Donaldson and Rizzo aren't the answer. They just aren't. They're not producing at a level of which they need to.
I think Rizzo is not 100%. You remember he was out for 5 days with that back strain, and he quickly came back. And I think he quickly came back because the Yankees needed him. They needed this man defensively and offensively, and I just feel like his back isn't 100%. I feel like his back is still hurting. No lie about it. His back is still hurting because when I see him take those swings, he's not taking the swings that he normally used to take. He takes those swings where it's like, let me try and connect with this ball and try and give something up. And I feel like that's what's wrong with Anthony Rizzo is he's still not 100%. But I don't want to blame it on that. I do agree. Anthony Rizzo is a big name. This man still has over 25 home runs. He still has a good on base percentage. I mean, he's just on that slump right now that you're looking at, right? That little slump that you're looking at, he's been on that since he came back from that 5-day IL, from like that 5-day injured list with the back strain. That's when.
Well, if the injuries are, to your point, then if the injuries are what's got him down, maybe he needs to still be on the IL until he's fully ready to come back. And because how much more damage are you doing with him out there if he's not 100%?
And I agree with you, on that. But I feel like what they're doing, they're probably going to sit him down once we get our peoples back. Once we get Giancarlo Stanton back, Anthony Rizzo could take some time to rest because we could have DJ LeMahieu, who just came back, substitute on first base. He's a great first baseman. So we can have DJ LeMahieu be on first and let Anthony Rizzo rest. When Matt Carpenter come back, we can have Anthony Rizzo rest, right before the playoffs come. So, I mean,
truthfully, if I was them, I would sit Rizzo until he's ready, like a really ready. And I would just do a platoon. I would just do a platoon of Marwin Gonzalez and Gleyber Torres until he's ready to go. And I don't know why they don't use Marwin Gonzalez more. That guy,
because he's horrible. No, he's a horrible hitter.
I don't know. He wasn't a horrible hitter with the Astros. It must have been that New York thing.
You're looking at the right Marwin Gonzalez.
We had Marwin Gonzalez.
I know you did, but I think you only look at what Marwin Gonzalez did with you guys with the home runs and shit. I think that's all you look at. Was he really that good?
Well, no, I look at him for a lot of reasons. He still is a good hitter, but he's a great utility guy. He can play every damn position under the sun. And we don't really need Marwin because we got a Litmus Diaz, who's the same as Marwin. The fact that he can play just about every position and has a good bat. I just think, I don't know, man. Something about New York, man. Gallo was doing great, goes to New York, plummets. Marwin Gonzalez was doing great with the Astros, goes to New York and plummets. I don't know. It's some kind of curse out there in New York, man. I don't get it. Must be something in the food or in the subway stations y'all got. I don't know.
Have you guys been?
I don't know what Joey Gallo you were seeing, but I mean, he like I said, he did great when we traded for him last year. But then when he started off this season, he just.
No, that's my point. That's my point.
It's got nothing to do with the Yankees. It's got nothing to do with the Yankees because if you're going to come and get traded to New York and play great and then get signed by New York, but then start off the season shit, that's not the Yankees' fault. That's Joey Gallo's fault for being terrible.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And let's not forget, he's doing great on the Dodgers right now because of why? The Dodgers have one of the smallest stadiums in baseball.
So what does that tell you? Maybe New York should have built a smaller stadium.
Oh, hell no. Why? Hell no. Tell the Dodgers organization to stop being little softies with their little 380 plus feet home runs.
Actually, though, you know what though?
Wasn't it Wasn't it the Astros that used to have a damn hill in their center field?
Yeah, that was called Taos Hill. Then people were jacking their ankles up. And
Why the hell would you put a hill on the field?
I don't know. Gonzo, I can't
on
it. Go talk to the architect. I don't know. They took that damn hill out, though. But I'll tell you this, man. Hey, I'm glad they took that damn hill out, man, because people were getting hurt on that hill.
I've ever seen a hill.
But I want Frankie to understand something, too. You got to understand, even with this having a smaller park, yes, it's easier for people to jack up home runs, but it's also harder for pitchers to pitch in those kinds of parks because of that. So just because it's a smaller park doesn't give you that necessary competitive advantage, because if your pitching sucks, well, guess what? Your team's going to get jacked up 20 ways from Sunday. So that small park can be a curse just as much as it is a blessing to the home team.
Listen, I don't give a fuck about the Dodgers. They lost last night. That's all I care about.
I feel you, man.
I mean, I know we lost too, but man, hey, I don't care. As long as the top teams lose, I'm cool with it.
Before we get out of here, have you guys been watching much of the Little League World Series?
I did watch it last night. I watched the Pennsylvania versus Texas one.
Yeah, Texas got a big win. There's been some good games on there. That team from Indiana got a walk-off hit to win that game 8-7 earlier yesterday. I'm waiting on it to come back on today. I love watching that Little League World Series.
I do too. I was watching with my wife yesterday, and I looked at her and I said, "Why didn't my parents put me in this? If my parents would have put me in the Little League series type thing, man, I would have felt like a mini Aaron Judge, because like I would have been smacking those balls out. And that looks fun. I would have had a great time if I was in that Little League World Series stuff.
Oh yeah, it'd been cool to get to play in something like that. And I'll tell you what, them little kids can ball too. Some of the plays they make are like, hey, and I'm looking forward to Monday when the Indiana team plays again. But the team from Hawaii looks real tough, and then that Mexico team looked pretty good last night. I haven't got to see a whole lot of the international teams yet.
Damn,
Carousel's pretty good.
You wouldn't expect that's a weird saying what just came out of your mouth, Chris. Mexico playing well in baseball. That's really weird.
Hey, they have a good Little League team.
That's the only team they got.
That Japan Little League team is crazy.
Oh, well, it's expected. Shit.
Yeah, but they practice to them kids. It's like a job. They practice like 8 hours a day.
They probably practice with the grown-ups from China and Japan and stuff like that. And they got Ichiro over there in China helping them out while he's retired. He's like, I'm not retired with baseball. I'm helping these little leaguers out.
Yeah, I watched more of it than I have the MLB the last few days. Reds aren't very good, so I've been watching Little League.
I'm gonna join you on that one, because when the Yankees are losing 6-2, I said, man, with this shit. I was at work, right? And I looked at my phone. I see that they were down 6-2. I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna look at my phone no more, because it's just gonna piss me off, right? I go in the back. I'm chilling. I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm on my little break, and I seen the Little League World Series. And I'm like, let me turn on that real quick, because I've been paying attention, because I want to see that Indiana team, but I haven't seen them yet for some reason. Every time I turn the damn TV on, it's not Indiana.
They played yesterday afternoon. Now they don't play again until Monday afternoon.
I'm gonna try and catch that one. But I watched some of the games last night, and my boss was getting pissed at me because I wasn't focused much on work, and I'm just watching. I'm like in the back watching the Little League World Series. And they're like, what are you watching? I'm like, Little League World Series. And they're like, oh, I thought you watched the Yankees game. Because everybody around here knows how big I am with the Yankees. Everybody knows I'm a big sports guy. Everybody knows I'm a podcaster around here. Literally, my town that I'm in is so little that I have everybody like watching our shows sometimes. I see them on comments. I see them on likes and stuff like that. But it's funny when they come up to me and they like, oh, I thought you'll be watching the Yankee game. I look at them and I go, man. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have not worn my Yankee jersey in a couple weeks now. Frankie the Yankee. When was the last time, Jay? When was the last time you seen Frankie the Yankee come out?
It's been a hot minute. It has been a hot minute. Let me just say real quick, I don't know what the hell Chili's is putting into their damn wing sauce, but that crap is screwing my insides up.
Hey Jay,
Hey,
I'm
I
glad
told
you're
the
back.
wife, hey, look, she was
tired
out
of
last
having
night.
myself stare at me.
Huh?
So I'm glad you're back because I was tired of having myself stare at me.
Oh, I do that because I just pay homage to you, man. That's all. Two bearded guys, it's crazy. But no, hey, listen, man. Applebee's, I think they got the better sauce. I told the wife last night, she was at Chili's. Hey, I say, hey, babe, when you come home, can you get me some wings? But don't get it from Chili's. Go buy Applebee's. Get Applebee's Chili's. I know you're at Chili's, but when you leave Chili's, go to you know what? She brings me motherfucking Chili's. Son of a bitch.
She probably.
But I was hungry, so I ate them anyway. I don't care. But no, hey, real quick, Frankie, back to what we were talking about earlier, I think, I just feel like with the Yankees organization, I think Cashman and Boone, as much as they want to, bring in all these other players, I think sometimes Cashman and Boone, they look at themselves and figure out, okay, what are we doing to contribute to this? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm not a big firm believer in Brian Cashman. I think maybe it's time to move on from him and find another manager that maybe has more of rather than overreact attitude. Let's work through this adversity and and try to keep our team going and keep that continuity that got you there in the first place.
Yeah. Listen, Jay, I'm done talking about the Yankees. They're gonna play tonight, and they're probably gonna lose again. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably not gonna watch.
You know what you should watch? Hey, you know what you should watch?
I'm gonna watch the Patriots game on the NFL Network.
No. You know what you should watch? The Astros
I'm not
and
gonna
Braves.
watch the Astros.
No,
Oh,
watch
you
the
guys play
Astros
the
and Braves,
Braves?
and we can heckle Logan.
Oh, I didn't know you guys play the Braves. Now that I might pay attention to. I didn't know you guys are playing up against the Braves. Damn, how many?
Yeah, man, it's me
Jay,
versus Logan tonight, baby.
Jay literally it was Jay versus Frankie the Yankee, Jay versus Pride the Sock or Pride the Shit Sock, and then you got Jay versus Logan the Brave. Like, this is insane. This is crazy. Do you play the Reds this year too?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that we play the Reds. I think that's not on our calendar to play the Reds. Unfortunately, I couldn't get Gonzo in there.
That'd be a loss.
Hey, I feel like I'll play the Reds better than Frankie played them, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's not fair now though, because we had Castillo when the Yankees played us. We don't have Castillo no more.
Yeah, that's right. You guys don't have Castillo anymore.
Yeah, the Reds played us. They're like, nah, we're not gonna send them to the Yankees. Oh wait, the Yankees got to play the Mariners. Let's send them to Seattle, and we had to freaking play against this guy 3 times in 1 year. Like, what the hell?
It was like 3 times in a week and a half. You guys saw Castillo.
And he won all 3 times. Like, what the hell?
Hey, by the way, go Pearland. Go Pearland. Let's go, Pearland. Let's go. What a time to be alive. Even Texas Little League is kicking butt, man. Damn.
At least those teams can win, because the Rockets ain't gonna do shit for you guys. Or
you know what, though? I don't think you're necessarily correct. I don't think you're correct. I think the Rockets are doing phenomenal. Phenomenal. And let's be honest, right now, my track record is better than yours. It just is. Nothing wrong, but yeah, my track record's better. You better worry about having Mac Jones, keep continuing to develop under that, what I like to call shit sandwich of an offensive coordinator system you got working over there with the New England Patriots and Patricia and Judge. That's a complete total shit show, if you ask me.
You know what we need? You know what we need to do one year? We need to all get together and go to Pennsylvania and watch the Little League World Series. It don't cost anything to get in.
No, I'm down for that. Pennsylvania's not that far from that may be a little bit of a ride, but I can definitely make it to Pennsylvania.
It's not that far. It'd be farther for you than me, and that's far. It's a pretty good drive for me.
But I would actually do that. I think that wouldn't be bad at all. And no, Damon, we are not the Lions of the NBA. That's retarded to even say that.
What did he say? What did Damien say?
He said the Rockets are the Lions of the NBA.
Hey, Frankie, how far is Pennsylvania Williamsport from you?
That's probably like a 3-hour drive.
Oh, okay, that ain't bad at all.
Yeah, out of all of us, Frankie has the easiest one. I think if I'm going to Pennsylvania, I'm not driving that crap. I'm just going to take a little flight. I'm going to go get me an Allegiant airline flight, which is not that much. I think now I will say this: when you fly Allegiant, it ain't too far from the movie Airplane. I mean, you better. Listen, when you're spending $30 for a seat, you may or may not make it to your destination alive. But you know what? That's a chance I'm willing to take.
I don't know if I want to get on that guy.
I wouldn't get on that shit.
he said, "Hey, I knew it was bad when you get on the Allegiant Airlines, they hand you a parachute."
Oh. They hand you a drink right when you hand in your ticket just to walk into the plane. Like, here you go, get ready. You're gonna need this.
Hey, it's bad, man, because when Snoop Dogg comes out of the cockpit smoking a blunt saying, "I'm your captain."
Seriously, you know it's bad when you didn't even take off yet and the freaking the attendant saying, we're gonna have some turbulence right now, and you're still sitting there. Like, okay.
That was the best part. When the stewardess comes out and looks at everybody and says, "Now, I don't want nobody to panic, but if anybody here knows how to fly a plane."
No, the best part is when you go
I'll
in
do
there
it.
and
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I can fly a plane.
The best part to me is when you go on an airplane and you gotta freaking pay 25 cents just to get your freaking bag compartment open to just put your bags in there. Like, you gotta pay money in the airplane to put your bags away. Motherfucker, I just spent money to get on this plane.
Yeah, they find so many ways to get money out of you. It's ridiculous.
Oh, man, it is. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But before we get out of here, you guys got any final thoughts?
Yeah, what a time to be alive, man. There was a time I remember earlier in the season, when a young Frankie was riding high, had the wind beneath his wings, couldn't be touched, was heir apparent. And now he's just like a shell of himself. What a time to be alive in this world. I'm just saying, what a time to be alive, man.
I said that, Jay, you cannot lie. I said this. I said early in the season, I said I'm gonna ride on this until it lasts because I know it's not gonna last long. I've said it many times. I was like, and that was the only reason I was all up on everybody because it honestly was a long time since I've seen the Yankees, be the best and be on top of the MLB. But now we turn into the typical Yankees, and now I just I don't know. I feel like Oswald Cobblepot.
I think the Yankees are going to snap out of it. It's still going to be between the Yankees and the Astros.
Gonzo. No, Gonzo. Right now we got Frank in the rope. Don't let him up. Don't let him up, Gonzo. Keep the foot on the throat. See, that's the problem. That's the problem that was the problem in Atlanta when they played the Patriots. They had the foot on the throat, and then come third quarter, they got comfortable, took the foot off the throat, and then Brady just took him to town. So you can't let him. You can't do that, Gonzo. Come on now.
Honestly, Jay, I don't even give a shit what Chris says. I don't care how nice people are gonna be. Listen, Jay could be like, Jay's gonna call me tonight, like, "Hey man, don't give up. Jay, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna just answer back. I say, Jay, I don't give a damn. And I'm gonna say, just like I said 2 nights ago, Jay, we could win. I won't care. We lose. I'm not caring no more. I'm done. The Yankees need to have a good winning streak in order to get my good graces back. They need to finish out August strong and come into September amazing. That's what they need to do in order to get my good graces back, and it doesn't look like it's happening.
I'll tell you this, Frankie. I will tell you this. Listen, last night when you was talking all that craziness, I actually went on Facebook and I messaged Caitlin and I said, hey, darling, I need you to go throughout the house. If there's any sharp objects, I need you to take them and put them away somewhere where Frankie can't find them.
Oh, that's why her phone was going on so bad? I was wondering.
Oh man, I was worried about you. I said, Caitlin, come on, man. I think your boy is hurting right now, man. Go find him.
Jay. I was ready to do an Aaron Hernandez.
Man, I tell
I
you,
was
hey,
ready.
it was a rough time in the world, man. But again, go Pearland. Let's go Pearland. Let's go.
How, you said did you say that was close to where you lived in Texas?
Yeah, Pearland's probably about maybe about a 20-minute ride from my parents' house. Yeah, it's close. It's real close.
They looked good
Crazy.
last night.
Huh?
It looked good last night in that game.
Man, we'll see. I'm gonna keep tabs on them.
Did you watch any of it?
No, I fell asleep with some Jack in my hand. I don't know what happened after
He's
that.
lying. He ain't fall asleep. He's not watching the Little League World Series. Be honest, Jay. He was not sleeping, motherfucker. He said I'm sleeping. Hey, you just fucking said you were eating wings from Chili's. Are you sleeping? He was not sleeping. You just don't watch it, and we understand. We understand, Jay. It's the Little League. But now that Jay knows that Texas won and they're on to the next round, he's definitely gonna watch now.
Hey, I'm gonna be all about it now, man. I'm gonna give me a little league shirt that says Pearland on it, man. Pearland, it's gonna say Pearland or bust.
Jay's gonna show up on the bar show with the Pearland, Texas Little League shirt on.
I was about to say he's on the computer right now ordering the hats right now.
Hey, listen, Amazon Prime, get me here. Go Gadget next day delivery. Let's go. Dude, hey, real quick. Let me just say this real quick. So I have a window that's literally like right next to the door. And I keep my blinds up because Blue does not like to have the blinds down, and he will tear up the blinds trying to look through the blinds. So because he's a guard dog type of animal, you know what I mean? And I shit you not, I was sitting on the couch. I seen the Amazon Prime guy walk in front of the window. All I saw was Blue jump up. He's got his paws. He's hitting the window. He's letting out all these like loud barks. And I swear to God, the Amazon Prime guy looked like the fear of death. Like he thought Blue was going to come through the window. I have never seen a guy that scared shitless in all of my life, man. But Blue, I said, Blue, good job. You keep doing that, buddy.
I'll be scared shitless too. For those of you who do not know, Blue is a huge dog. Blue could be he could be a midget. Like you will look at him and say, "Damn, is that Jay's son?"
Yeah, he's pushing about. He's about 120 pounds now, man. He ain't. Hey, Blue ain't no playing around, man. Let me tell you.
Fucking Jay's dog almost weighs more than I do.
Chris, I don't know if you've seen it, Chris, but Jay sent us a picture of Blue, and Blue's got a freaking Frank Gore neck.
Yeah,
like that dog. I don't even think that's a dog. Like, that's just some type of beast. Like, I don't understand. He's got a Frank Gore neck. My man sits up at a bar waiting for a drink like a human being with paws on the table. Man, Blue's amazing. I wish I had Blue in my life.
Hey, did I send you the picture where I took Blue to the bar, and the bartender always gives Blue a couple of sausages when we go to the bar. Like that's just like every time. So now he's got to the point now. We will walk up to the bar. I will order my beer, and Blue will jump up and put his paws on the bar, and he's looking at the bartender in the face.
Like, where's my sausages?
Like, where's my sausages and my beer too? If you can get it. Yeah, it's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Shit,
go Pearland.
What a time.
I was calling him Pearl, and then Jay was like, "It's Pearland." I was like, "Okay."
I was honestly confused when he said that. He just came out of nowhere and just first said, "Go Pearland." I'm thinking to myself, like, "What the hell is he talking about? What the hell does he mean? Paramount? Like, is he talking about Paramount Plus? Like, you talking about the network? Like, what the hell is he talking about?" Then it clicked to me, and I said, "Oh, he's talking about the Little League team. Okay, I get it."
Yeah, cool. Man. Go Pearland. That's all I'm saying. Go Pearland, baby.
They're going to get beat by Hagerstown, Indiana.
You shut your mouth.
Do they play each other Monday?
I'm not sure who Indiana plays. I think I don't think they play each other Monday. I think it might be if they both win, it'd be the next round after that. I think.
Hey, I want to show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna go full screen just because I want to show you this real fast. How you go full screen on this thing? God, make me full screen. I don't think I had that ability.
Yeah, hold on. I have to figure it
Let
out.
me see. I just gotta show you
Pride was
this.
yelling at me yesterday, and I was trying to figure out how to do it.
Hey, let me see if I can see this. Let me see. Hold on.
He just chilling. Yeah, I got that picture. He just chilling.
Hey, that's Blue with his paws on the bar saying, "Where's my beer, motherfucker?" I just wanted to show you guys that. Hey, I was not live at. Hey, Blue does not play around at the bar. Let me tell you. But I will tell you this, and I kid you not. It's a guaranteed fact that before I met Melanie and we got married and things like that, back in my single days, had I known that Blue was going to be the way Blue is, I would have never joined Tinder or any of that kind of stuff because Blue will naturally attract females of all looks. I'm telling you, the people just, and I'm like, man, I didn't need to join Christian Eagle. Coffee meets bagel, plenty of fish. I just got to get Blue, and I was good to go.
Oh, fuck that. He said I would have never joined Tinder. I can't with you, Jay. He's like, that's how I met Mel. I met Mel on Tinder. I was in Houston. I met her on Tinder. We met up and dated in the middle.
No, actually, I met Mel on Coffee Meets Bagel, which is another dating website. And it was kind of funny because I'm the cheap person, and she was on the paid part. And I'm thinking like, well, there's no way I can. She messaged me, and I'm like, oh wow, you can actually get messages from people who are paying. I said, let me tell you something. My name's Jay. I don't pay for this site, so if you think I'm, she's like, oh, you're a cheap bastard. Okay, well, I'll still date you anyway. Whatever.
Coffee.
Good time.
Well, that was a time where Jay was just a musclehead. That's why he was just a musclehead. They didn't have that huge body fat that he got now. He just had straight arms, and I've seen it firsthand. I got videos of Jay back in the day, and Jay was nothing but a musclehead.
Man, hey, that was before I had that last surgery, and I couldn't run anymore. And when I stopped being able to run, you got to work off that liquor, Frankie. That liquor will put weight on you.
Oh, I know, and the beer.
Oh yeah, beer. People don't understand, man. Hey, listen, but I can't drink light beer. I tried drinking light beer one time. It was horrible.
Yeah, I don't drink light beer. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I can't drink light beer, and I love a good beer, man. Let me tell you, I love a good beer.
Oh yeah, I like going to the brewery here, and we got a couple breweries here in town. I like going there, trying the different beers.
Chris,
oh yeah,
Chris, you look like a person that likes Belgian ale.
Yeah, it's all right. I like my favorite right now. I drink a lot is Blue Moon.
No.
I drank Blue Moon one time, and I had the worst headache after drinking that mess. I don't know what it was. Man, I had the worst damn headache ever. It was weird.
I wouldn't. Oh.
Couple of my friends I went to high school with, they actually opened up a brewery here in town.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
I go there quite a bit and drink some of the beer they make. They've won some awards and stuff and competitions and stuff with
what the fuck? Well, they're not your friends then, Chris. What type of friends would make a brewery and create a brewery and not invite you to be part of that ownership or some shit? What the hell? I'd have been listen. You motherfuckers know I drink beer. I'm all about the beer. Why the hell am I not in here? Why don't I have a job? I could be manager. I could be GM. I don't have to be CEO. I don't have to be the freaking president or vice president. No, I could freaking run this building. Just give me a job. Motherfuckers don't even give you a job, Chris. What type of friends are that?
I'm working now with the Mo to get I think they're going to maybe sponsor the show or something. Do something together. So I'm working on it.
Tell them to sponsor our show. Tell them to sponsor your show, Chris, and to send beer to everyone that's on your show for free. I will be on your show every day.
Free beer, I'm there.
Jay still got an AOL account. Man, whatever. I don't have no damn AOL account. What the hell? I'll tell you, man. I think, he definitely just says stuff, man, just to start. Can't take him seriously. All right, man. Everybody get up on out of here. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Before I go, I just want to say I'm not watching the Yankees game tonight. I feel like, if I don't watch it, they have a better chance. Because that one night we won, I was just listening to it on the radio. I didn't even watch. I listened to it on the radio, and then I walk inside, and the grand slam happened. Jay called me, and I was in full shock, full fucking shock. Like I couldn't believe it. I almost cried. But I will be watching the Patriots game tonight because we go up against the Panthers. We had back-to-back practice fights with the Panthers, and I can't wait to see what that game brings us tonight. Everybody enjoy your weekend and enjoy your sports day. Jay, I will be having a close eye on your game, most definitely.
Yeah, because I'm heckling the crap out of Logan tonight.
Let's go Braves! I'm gonna make fun of whoever loses at the end of it. I really don't care, but I really need the Braves to win this one. That's what I do. I need the Braves to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get underneath Logan's skin a little bit tonight. I'm just gonna, hopefully the Astros, will allow me that opportunity to basically call him every inning on the inning and ask him how he's doing. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'll help you. I don't even care if the Yankees are losing and he tries to come back at me. I'll help you.
Because there you go, man. Logan, me and Frankie are coming for you tonight.
Because you know what? The Braves were 7 games back. Now they cut back in to be about 3 or 2.5 games back of the Mets, taking the series 2-1. Now they go up on a tough challenge against the Astros. Now you can say what a time to be alive. You just won a series against the Mets.
What a time to be alive.
You just had a series up against the Mets and won. Now you got to go up against the Astros in a 3-game series. This is an amazing time to be alive because if you cut that lead, go up against the Astros and now fall back if you lose against the Astros, I'm coming at Logan. I'm coming at because that's not just one time this year, guys, that the Braves have cut the league in the division. This will be twice that they cut it and friggin' lost a chance to get into first place. I'm gonna definitely be on Logan.
The schedule makers didn't do them no favors, giving them a 4-game series against the Mets and then turn around against the series against the Astros.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, listen, man. Talk about back-to-back, pressure-filled series, man. Damn.
Not for you. Not for you. Motherfucking Astros just scored 21 runs last night. Not for you. I'm coming to tonight like, hey, we got 25 hits and scored 21 runs. Hey, Logan, you better be scared, brother. I'm just saying right now.
Hey, listen. People don't understand. I know Frankie's like, what do you mean a statement game? I'm telling you, it's a statement game because like these Astros, the more they get games like this, the more confidence, the more momentum, the more positive. I'm telling you, that makes a dangerous team. That makes a dangerous team, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it also confuses me because, I thought the same thing after that walk-off grand slam, and that didn't happen, so. Boo-boo. Boo-boo. Fucking Yankees.
Man, get us out of here, Gonzo.
Fucking Yankees.
Mm.
Oh, and don't forget,
Go ahead.
Don't forget, me and Jay are we're going to be talking soon. I don't know if we have any more spots left on our fantasy football league, but we'll talk about that on Saturday, tomorrow night on Unscripted. But me and Jay are going to try and plan to make a new show, and the name is going to be called Yank Our Astros.
Yes. It's going to be off the chain. Right now, there are still 3 open spots left in the league. So, yeah, there's 3 spots left. Right now, we're at about 17 teams in, and we got 3 open. So, yeah, what a time to be alive.
3 spots left, guys. Going on Scripted Facebook page. The link is on our page right at the very top. You will see it. You got the password and everything like that. Join in. the winner of this year. Last year we did the winner coming on unscripted and host, but Jay did something better. This year, the winner of unscripted fantasy football will get a free jersey.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, baby. What a time to be alive. Pearland! Pearland! Let's go!
Pearland.
Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. They can also get a Pearland jersey if they choose.
Yes! Pearland! hey, it's a Catalina freaking wine mixer! Pearland! Pow!
Let's go,
Oh,
New York
man.
Liberty. New York Liberty. Beat the Chicago Skies again and make me happy and talk shit to Mike Hughes.
Do they play tonight?
They do play tonight. If not, I think it's tomorrow.
Okay, I want to watch. That first game was a good one. But no, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Frankie, thanks for jumping on. Jay, I appreciate you coming on as well. Don't forget today at 4 p.m. Eastern, myself and Pride will be doing a UFC preview and prediction show for tomorrow night's pay-per-view card. So join us today at 4 Eastern. You can find that at GONZO Sports Room or at the All Sports All Plays Network. Also, the afternoon show on the All Sports All Plays Network, 1 p.m. Eastern today. Come join us for that. Appreciate everybody joining us. Thanks for watching Around the Bases, and we will see you guys Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Everybody have a great weekend.
Pearland!